guys, welcome to my channel. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody is doing very well. Thank you so much for joining me. I just really thought this would be so interesting. It's back in the day of 1967. 1967. BACKINTHEDAY. Back in the day. Reflections of a special year, and it is a special year because that is the year I was born. It's going to tell you different prices and different things about that time of year, and I just thought it would be fun to share with you. I picked this up at a flea market for $7 a while back. It's very small and very thin, but we're going to do some of the reading out of there with you. It is about almost 5 inches, slightly short of 5 inches by about slightly short of 7 inches. So it is a very small little notebook. It's very thin. I will show you. Look how thin it is. Very thin. But it has a lot of neat and interesting information in this little magazine. I thought you'd like it. They're going to tell you about cars and teacher salary, gas prices, and all kinds of things. So let's take a general look through here together. Are you ready? Let's get ready to go and look back on the year I was born. We're going to turn to the first page, which is just a little general. Just tells you back in the day, 1967, reflections on a special year. Of course, I think it's special because that's the year I was born. It has a little trivia, which we will come back and do at the end. Well, actually, we'll go over it now. I certainly don't know the answers. I was just a baby at this time, but it's a 1967 trivia challenge game. We'll guess what we think along here, but then we will look at the answers later. It says, how much was minimum wage back then? That's a really interesting question. So, I would think B, 210, but it's probably C, 140. I'm not sure. I know it's not this because I remember when I started working, it was like $5 or $6, I think. I don't remember even that. So, number 2 is, what name was the most popular for baby boys? Jimmy, Michael, or Kevin? If I were to guess, I would guess Michael. Don't know if that's true or not, but we will find out towards the end. The average cost of a loaf of bread. Wow. 96 cents. I know it's not that. 22 or 5. I'm thinking 22 cents, but I am not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't 96 cents at all. Which team won the World Series? I don't watch baseball, so I'm not sure. So the Baltimore Orioles, the St. Louis Cardinals, or the Chicago Cubs. I'm going to say the Cubs. I don't know. Oh, wow. Look at this. It says, what was the average annual income for the year? I'm not going to give the full ones, but 18,000, 11, and 7. They're all plus. 18 plus, 11 plus, 7 plus. I'm thinking, well, I would hope it'd be something like this, but I'm thinking B, maybe. I'm not sure. What do you think? Make sure you're writing down your answers at the same time, so when we go through the book, we can check. There's different answers on different pages, so we'll get our answers throughout. I don't know who the president was then. Jimmy Carter. I know it wasn't him. Lyndon Johnson or Harry Truman. I would say Lyndon Johnson. I know it wasn't Jimmy Carter because he was president when I was a little older and I was in grade school. What was the average cost for gasoline a gallon? Now I know it wasn't $1.41 because when I started driving it was between, I know it was under $1. I'm not sure what it was, so I'm going to think 33 cents a gallon because I think 75 cents is even a little too high. What do you think? Which famous person was born during your year? Oprah Winfrey, Julia Roberts, or Katie Holmes? Well, I know it wasn't Katie Holmes because she's not as old as I am, I don't think. Anywhere near me. Mustang a more massive look. And this would be the Mustang here. 1967 Mustang. Look at that. Isn't this such an interesting little magazine? It's so cute. Oh, look at here. You have an original ORIGINAL 1967 RECIPE for chocolate malt bars. You'll need unsweetened chocolate, shortening, sugar, vanilla, eggs, flour, and chocolate flavor malted milk powder. Don't know if they make that or not. Baking powder, salt, and walnuts. Then it tells you how to mix it all up and cook it. Bake in 350-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. 20 to 25. 20 to 25. You have some advertisements around here. Eat crisp. That is for saltines, it looks like. Here it looks like a ham. Right here. Then the delicious taste of ham. Old packages. It's called New Package Hammies. Never heard that before in my life. Then Toasties. I guess it's like a Pop-Tart. I don't remember Pop-Tarts. We never bought any. We grew up kind of, didn't have a lot of money, so we didn't buy stuff like this. But it says, did you know in 1967, Wisconsin is the last state to allow coloring to be added to margarine? Didn't know that. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 little advertisements there. So cute. We're going to turn the page again and see what's on this next page. This is so cute. Oh, we have some facts of 1967. This is interesting. 1967 facts. Dr. James Bedford became the first person to be cryogenically preserved with the interest of future resuscitation. I never knew that. Did you know that? The American Baseball Association is formed. NASA launches Lunar Orbiter 3. Jimmy Hoffa begins his 8-year sentence for attempting to bribe a jury. Over 10,000 people gathered for Central Park being Elvis Presley and Priscilla. I don't really know how to say her last name, but Elvis and Priscilla were married in Las Vegas. It says 400 million viewers watched Our World, the first live international satellite television production. It features the live debut of the Beatles song, All You Need Is Love. Do you guys know that song, All You Need Is Love? The PBS documentary Night of the Grizzlies sparks national concern over bear drama in Montana's Glacier National Park. The first international McDonald's restaurant opens in Canada and Puerto Rico. The Beatles released Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band, nicknamed the soundtrack of the Summer of Love. I remember Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band. A supersonic airline Concorde is unveiled in Toulouse. I'm not sure I said that right. France. Motorcycle daredevil Evel Knievel attempts to jump 141 feet over Caesar's Palace. Fountains on Las Vegas Strip. Wow. Isn't that crazy? Here we have a sale, S-A-L-E, for GE. $299.95. I think that is a lot of money for back then. That's a lot of money for a refrigerator, because you could actually buy a super cheap kind of generic brand refrigerator for probably like $400 or $500. I think. I might be wrong. I might be totally off. But I know you could buy some. And I don't think this is big. It says expensive. That's my opinion. Because, I mean, they are expensive back then. That sounds pretty high for back then. No wonder you couldn't afford to buy anything. And this is no guesswork washer with mini basin. So I guess that's a mini basin. Then it gives you little things here. And it says here, did you know in 1967 a man introduces a consumer model of the Raider range, the first popular microwave designed for home use? Didn't know that either. That's interesting, isn't it? So many interesting things in here. Oh yeah, the billiard table here, only $295. I don't know what they cost, but that still sounds expensive to me. It was made by Brunswick. Then it says shake hands with Jack Kramer. Not sure what that means. Did you know the NASCAR most popular driver award for 1967 goes to Cal Yarborough? And I probably said that wrong, but that's okay. MacGyver golf clubs. You can see they're on a golf cart. Then it says race improved for your car, Valvoline. I'm pretty sure they still make Valvoline. Nowadays you take your car and have your oil changed, but back then I think more often than not you did it at home. I could be wrong about that too. So it says sports news. The first Super Bowl is played on January 15th, and the NFL champion Green Bay Packers win 35-10 over AFL champion Kansas City Chiefs. Then it says Muhammad Ali is stripped of his world heavyweight champion titles and is banned from boxing by various commissions for his refusal to be inducted into the United States Army. I never knew that neither. Interesting. The Kansas City athletes become the Oakland athletes for the 1968 season. The American Baseball Association begins play as a rival league to NBA. There we go. The World Series was St. Louis Cardinals. I don't remember what I guessed. Let me see what I guessed. I said the Cubs, so I was wrong. U.S. Open on golf was Jack Nicklaus. Pro football, Green Bay Packers. Indianapolis was A.J. Foyt. These are winners, it says. Stanley Cup, Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto Maple Leafs. NCAA basketball, UCLA. College football is USC. Heisman Trophy is Gary Beeman. Kentucky Derby, Brown Clarion. Wimbledon was Jack Newcomb. And NASCAR is Richard Petty. I do know the name Richard Petty. So we do know now is the Cardinals for that one trivia question. So I did get that wrong. Here's some more advertisement. The whole shooting match less than $93. So it looks like, oh look, there's a camcorder kind of thing. It looks like, wow. Here's a riding lawnmower, Bolins. That's kind of big. It looks like too. Oh my gosh. I remember stereos like this. I remember my neighbor, which was my cousin, had a stereo like this and would play music. We never had one like this that I can remember. We had just little record players that we used, portable kind of record players, but this was one. Usually had cabinets and stuff like that, but wow. And it's Zenith stereo. It says 10 reasons why Zenith stereo sounds as good as it looks. Then it says, did you know Motorola's 1967 Quasar color television has a innovative works in the drawer design that is easy to service. So here's the TV right here. So that's neat. So yeah, all these interesting little things here. So neat. They have years, I think, back to the 50s for this, up to maybe even 40s. I don't know. This, you could get some in later years than 1967 and earlier, more present years. So it says at the movies, the award goes to Best Picture in Heat of the Night. Best Actor in Heat is Rod Steiger. In Heat of the Night, Best Actress, Katharine Hepburn. Guess who's coming to dinner now? I don't remember. I think I said, let's see. says favorite box office. The Jungle Book, The Graduate, Bonnie and Clyde, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, The Dirty Dozen, Valley of the Dolls, You Only Live Twice, To Sir With Love. Now, was that one of our questions? Let's see here. No, I don't see that. So, okay, that was probably not one of our questions. Just wanted to check it out so we could clarify what the answer was. Did you know In the Heat of the Night won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Actor? It starred Sidney Poitier, Warren Oates, and Rod Steiger, and was directed by Norman Jewison. Now, I'm probably not saying these names right. I apologize, but I do the best I can for you. Oh my gosh, look at here. This is going to be, I think, the overall average income for 1967 was $7,000. So it was $7,000 plus number C on that one. School teacher made $7,423. A coal miner, which is a very popular job back then, was $7,066 a year. Clerical, $4,997. Manufacturing, $5,953. Construction, $8,057. Retail employee, $7,689. This is all per year. State and local government employees, $6,280. President of the United States made $100,000. Vice President made $43,000. And a senator made $13,000. Let's see them live off that now, right? And we still don't make that much money, but that was the average of that one question. You have your Nobel Prize winners. Right here, it says Nobel Prize in Psychics, but it has different ones. Here, I'm not going to be able to read all these names, so I'm not going to try, but here's the list of them. Here's one. Here's here. Throughout here. This interests me a lot. A new house only costs $22,700. I can't believe it. Okay, I do remember this as a trivia question. And let's see. Gasoline. I do believe I said 33 cents. So I was correct on that. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I think I said that. A new car, $2,750. Can you believe that? A dozen of eggs, 49 cents. Butter, 83 cents. Bread, 22 cents. And that was one of our trivia questions. And I do believe I said between the, I knew it wasn't this. I was hoping it was this, but I'm not sure what I said, but it was 22 cents. Interesting. Coffee, 77 cents per pound. Potatoes, 75 cents per 10 pounds, it says here. Milk, $1.15 a gallon. Bacon, 84 cents a pound. Sugar, 61 cents per 5 pounds. A movie ticket, $1.20. A U.S. postage stamp, 5 cents. And it was one of our trivias here. I don't remember. I think I said this one. I'm not sure. But yeah, 5 cents. Wow. And then the gasoline, yeah. If I didn't say it already, I can't remember. But the gasoline, 33 cents a gallon. 33 cents would be the answer for that. Postage stamp, 5 cents. Mail handled by the post office. Wow. 78,366,572 pieces. Life expectancy, 70 years old. 70 and a half plus a month. Or 70 and a half years, basically. Babies born, 3,521,000. Wow. U.S. population, 198,712,56. Wow. Unemployment, 3.8%. Minimum wage, $1.40. And the Dow average was $8.80. Let's see what's minimum wage here. Let's let's see. Yep, here's minimum wage. And what was it? It was $1.40. So if you answered C, it was $1.40. I like that. That's interesting to know what the prices were about then. Of course, they were probably different depending on where you live, like it is now. Some states and some cities were higher. Political news. Oh, there we go. There's the president. It was Lyndon Johnson. LBJ. Tells when he was born, when he served. Federal spending, federal debt. Look at this. Military spending. Look at how high it was even back then. Look at this. Vice President was Humphrey, where he was born and how long he served. The same amount, but there's Lyndon Johnson. Hubert Humphrey. Here's a little bit more advertisement. Diet Right Cola, the one with the wonderful taste. Look at here. So neat. There's a girl drinking it. Icy. Wow. Icy's been around for a while, right? Join the cola dropouts. You get a whole new feeling with Wink. Canada Dry makes it. So I don't remember Wink. I'm sorry about my stomach there, guys. W-I-N-K. Wink. Wink, 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 wink. Here's another soda. It says, did you know Pepsi introduces a new slogan in 1967? Taste that beats the others. Cold Pepsi pours it on. Are you a Pepsi person or a Coke person? I'm definitely a Pepsi person, but I can still drink Coke also. But Pepsi is my preference. Coffee. Advertisement for coffee. Carnation instant breakfast. Kellogg's Corn Flakes. Guys, look at there. Feel like a healthy animal. That's a weird slogan. But did you know Nabisco creates their own toaster pastry in 1967 called Toasteds to compete with Kellogg's Pop-Tarts? So I guess the Pop-Tarts might have been out then too. This will be interesting. Popular music. To Sir with Love, Lulu. Old Billy Joe. Bobby Gentry, Groovin', The Young Rascals, The Letter, The Pop Top, The Box Tops, Light My Fire, The Doors, Happy Together, The Turtles, Respect, Aretha Franklin, Soul Man, Sam and Dave, Tell It Like It Is, Erin Neville, and Georgie Girl, The Seekers. Look at this radio. I remember having radios similar to this. Probably not exactly like this, but similar. And I actually remember a TV like this, to be honest with you. It was my grandmother's when I would stay with her. She had a TV like this. Popular TV shows. Let me know if you know any of these down in the description box. The Andy Griffith Show. The Lucy Show. Gomer Pyle, USMC. Gunsmoke. Family Affair. Bonanza. The Red Skeleton Show. The Red Skeleton Show. The Dean Martin Show. The Jackie Gleason Show. And NBC Saturday Night Movie. So yeah, interesting. I don't think any of those were our pop quiz here that I can remember. Yeah, I don't think they were any of our pop quiz, so we'll move on. Oh wow, introduced in 1967, the Hostess Company introduces the Ho-Ho's cylinder frosted cream-filled cakes. Wow, Fistful of Dollars. Fistful of Dollars is the first significant spaghetti western are some more. We have the Fig Newton. That's a neat little different box. These are good. And now Fig Newtons come in many different flavors. Nestle Crunch makes the very best chocolate, it says here. It's Nestles. Then you have what looks like Oreos to me in a way. I'm not sure. Yeah, it says Oreo. Then you have a nice piece of cake, Sara Lee. We all heard of Sara Lee, I'm sure, right? Did you know 1967 Opal Fruits candy came to America and then changed to Starburst? And then America. And the name changed to Starburst. Never knew that neither. Headline news. So here's some headline news. In 1967, astronaut Gus Grissom, Edward Higgins White, and Roger Caffey are killed when a fire breaks out in their Apollo spacecraft during a launch pad test. The Soviet Union ratifies a treaty with the United States and United Kingdom banning nuclear weapons from outer space. Thurgood Marshall is nominated as the first African-American justice of the United States Supreme Court. President Lyndon Johnson meets with Soviet Premier Alexei Koyskin in Glassboro, New Jersey for the 3-day Glassboro Summit Conference. Once again, I might not get the names correct. President Lyndon B. Johnson holds a secret meeting with a group of the nation's most prestigious leaders and asks them to suggest ways to unite the American people behind the war effort. Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara announces his resignation to become president of the World Bank. Canada celebrates its first 100 years of Confederation. Fidel Castro announces that all intellectual property belongs to all the people and that Cuba intends to translate and publish technical literature without compensation. Martin Luther King Jr. denounces the Vietnam War during a religious service in New York City. So that is all of your headline news right through here. So interesting, this little book. Famous births. Let's see. You have musicians and actresses and stuff like that. You have R. Kelly, Dave Matthews, Chris Brunel, Lauren Graham, Anderson Cooper, Nicole Kidman, Pamela Anderson, Will Ferrell, Van Diesel, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Matt LeBlanc, Macy Gray, Harry Connick Jr., Christian Johnson, Tony Braxton, Kate Walsh, Keith Urban, and there's our answer, Julia Roberts, Courtney Thorne-Smith, Jimmy Kimmel, Reggie Sanders, and Jamie Foxx. Oh, and I was right on the number one name was Michael. You have 1 through 10 here. Michael, David, James, John, Robert, William, Mark, Richard, Christopher, Brian. Then you have the top girl names here. So I was right, I picked Michael. You have Lisa's number 1. Lisa, Kimberly, Michelle, Mary, Susan, Karen, Angela, Tammy, Melissa, and Jennifer. Then you have Discover the Continental United States Continental Airline. And you have it going to the Ozarks here. So here's a little map. So that's a little advertisement for the airline. As well as here,